Hey there, everyone. I've talked about the idea of doing some teaching and training about various coaching topics in this group. About a month ago, I think I put out a video or a little poll to see what topics y'all might want. And I won't always do it this way. I'm just doing this as a recorded Zoom and posting it. Sometimes I'll do it where it's live. It's a Zoom that you can participate in. But today is just I'm recording it. I was gone a lot this month on vacation, and I thought I got to get this done before the month is over. So, what I'm going to start with, a topic that was one of the very last suggestions to come in, because when I thought about it, this is a topic that comes up a lot in coaching sessions, and that's the topic of boundaries. Another way of saying this for our purposes today is it's a saying that I love, and I use it often, is that you teach people how to treat you. What you accept is what you'll get. So often this is important in the beginning of any relationship, whether it's a romantic one or work, family, new neighbor, whatever, whoever really, but it can also be at play later in the relationship if you've decided to change or create stronger, healthier boundaries, boundaries that are more aligned with your truth. What you put up with and what you allow is what will likely continue. So you're going to want to turn that pointed finger, like when you get mad that somebody's not treating you right, you've really got to turn that responsibility back on yourself, turn that spotlight on you, because you can't really blame others for not treating you how you want to be treated if you've been letting them get away with not treating you right for so long. The other thing to remember here is that if you're going to change boundaries with people that you're familiar with, family members especially, it might take them a while to adjust to your new, stronger boundaries. They might be like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" So if you're changing a boundary and making a stronger boundary, those people that have been used to your behavior for so long might be caught by surprise a little bit. Um, it really is up to you to communicate or express to others how you expect to be treated. And if they don't, then you've made them fully aware of the consequences, which usually in some form or fashion is just not having access to you anymore. And you must follow through on those boundaries that you've declared, of course, or they won't believe you. They won't respect those stated boundaries in the future. So, in a nutshell, this is what we mean by boundaries. It has a lot to do with self-respect, valuing yourself and honoring what's important to you instead of letting people take advantage of you. And by the way, even your closest loved ones can inadvertently take advantage of you if they don't know what your boundaries even are. So we talk a lot about in coaching about energy. And in fact, I begin most of my coaching relationships by giving my client an assessment called the ELI assessment. That stands for Energy Leadership Index. It's an attitudinal assessment. It's 70 questions and it gauges your attitude about certain things and in certain situations. Now, there are 7 levels of energy, and you'll score differently in different areas of your life. So level 4 energy is important to talk about when we talk about boundaries, because level 4 energy is indicative of an attitude of helpfulness. So if you have trouble with boundaries, you might find yourself thinking things like, well, I don't want to rock the boat or make trouble. I don't want to upset anybody or let anybody down. You want to keep the peace. You truly have a heart for helping others, of being of service and being caring and compassionate. And these all are wonderful things. It becomes a problem, though, when people who have strong level 4 energy don't have boundaries. Then it can go too far. They give so much without getting anything in return, and they can become burned out, even resentful, exhausted, taken advantage of. And then if it goes on for too long, they can even become angry about it. This is how level 4 energy can go. It starts out with really good intentions, but without boundaries, it can turn into anger and resentment. Like, when is it my turn? I don't ever get time for myself. I just want to run away. Now, having boundaries includes speaking up for yourself, not thinking that others can read your mind, or that they should just somehow know how you feel. That's really not fair. It's kind of passive aggressive, actually. So you really want to decide what you want, what you'll allow, and then communicate it clearly. And sometimes even not with words. Sometimes leaving the room or leaving the conversation or not responding. Those can be forms of setting boundaries. Now, I'm not talking about being immature, giving the silent treatment, or ghosting someone. We're not talking about being manipulative here, but sometimes just pausing, not reacting, taking a moment for yourself, those can demonstrate having boundaries. Like if someone's not talking to you in a kind way, not responding sends a message. Or think about when your spouse or partner or family member yells to you from another room, like not in anger, but like, hey, where are my socks? You're annoyed by it, but if you just yell back, you've taught them that it's acceptable to you. However, if you stay silent and don't respond, you're forcing them to either yell again, which they might, or to come to the room where you are and ask, hey, did you hear me? Your response can be that, yes, you heard them, but you don't want to yell from room to room. So now that they've come into the room, you can calmly respond to them without yelling. So, what do you think will happen the next time? Will they yell at you again from another room of the house? Probably not. Or if they do, maybe they just need one more lesson before they learn it. Sometimes boundaries take reinforcement. They're learning not to yell at you from another room. You've established a boundary. You've taught them what you will and will not accept. Now you can translate this really simple example into any number of things, of course. You don't have to engage. You don't have to give reasons either. So there's a little segue there. Think about when you get an invitation to go somewhere, to join some friends for a night out or attend a party or a function or something else that's not mandatory, or being asked to help or be on a committee or to volunteer. Again, that level 4 energy, which is all about being helpful, makes it tempting to say yes. So when we want to say no, we often feel like we must give a reason or an excuse for declining. And I'm here to tell you that is not necessary. It used to give me a bit of anxiety, immediately thinking of whatever reason or excuse I was going to give for not going, like it had to be elaborate and believable, until I realized and understood that I don't have to give any reason at all. No can be as simple as no thanks, or I'm sorry, I'm just not going to make it, or we won't be attending, or I appreciate you thinking of me, but no, or I'm unable to help with your request, but I hope it goes well. So this might be a good practice for you. The next time you're tempted to take on something or give an excuse for why you can't, a reason for declining, choose one of those examples or create one of your own, a similar one, and learn to say no with grace and zero anxiety or guilt. So just remember, when we're talking about boundaries, you're teaching people how to treat you. What you let people get away with is what they think is acceptable. So if you want something different, you've got to stop putting up with less. I hope you enjoyed today's training, and I hope you have a better understanding of how to create strong boundaries and why they're good for you. Until next time, I'm Kelly Hinson, your positive psychology coach.